If you pee, let it be. If you poop, use a scoop.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today may be the most exciting day on this homestead.
I think so. The most exciting day ever.
Yes. So,
besides tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be exciting too.
Tomorrow's exciting, but that's more for fun and joy, and this is straight up awesomeness.
It is.
So, we don't talk about this much. There's reasons for that. Now we can because it's ending, and so whatever. But for 5 years, we've been pooping in a bucket.
Yep.
And so we've been composting toilets, and we've done it for 5 years, and it's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I am the dumper of the toilets, and this is the dirty grind of homesteading if you want to compost, because especially if you're just doing it old school with a bucket.
Yeah, we're off grid, so it is what it is, and it's been fine. It hasn't always been our favorite, but it worked for 5 years. It was a fun process.
So, a couple years ago, we learned about Sunmar, and so Sunmar is composting toilets like on steroids.
Yeah.
So we got us a Sunmar toilet after like 2 years of waiting.
Yep.
And we're gonna show all this to you. We're gonna show you our current setup because we just got the toilet. It came by a semi truck.
Yep.
It is big, but basically a quick rundown of what Sunmar toilet is. It looks like a normal toilet, which, like I said, I'll show you here in a second. And it composts so quickly that as soon as you pull it out, you have soil. Like, it's ready to go straight into your garden. And you can use human manure in general if you're doing your own composting. It needs to sit by itself for like a year plus before you can actually use it if you're doing it out this. But this, you're supposed to only have to replace it like once every 4 months to dump it out. And there's no more actually dumping our waste. And Raylan is tickling me, and that really tickles. Hi, Ray Ray. So let's jump right into this because I don't know who's going to be the first to use it.
Yeah, we're all excited. The kids are excited to be able to flush a toilet.
Right.
It's going to be really nice.
Just one of those luxuries that
it's well deserved. We have waited. We have done our time.
Yep.
We have lived the off-grid compost toilet, and now it's time to be official.
That's exactly right. So let's show you what we've been using. So here I am, sitting on our toilet that I made. So that was like the first thing that I made, and let me try to close that, see if y'all can see me any better. There I am. So that was like one of the first things I made when we moved into this house, was this little toilet. And so all it is just the frame, and then on the inside we have a bucket that we take out every few days and dump. But this is our bathroom that you all rarely see, but it's mainly because of these composting toilets, and sometimes just with laws and different things, we just kind of kept that away. But there she is, Old Faithful, out of here. Squat down a little. So we do want to talk about, like, why do we compost toilets? Like, why did we choose that? And that's the first thing that we want to clarify. It's a choice.
It is.
We choose to have this. We want to be completely off grid. We call ourselves semi off grid because we're still on electric, which we are working on trying to get that out of here.
Yeah.
But one step at a time. So that's really our last remaining piece that's on grid.
Yeah.
But
we also don't have electric like you have electric. We don't have lights in every room. And we have 2 main lights, and we have 2 switches, and those 2 switches power everything in that house.
Yeah.
So like in our house, you can't just go into somebody's room and flip on your light.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
A lot of lamps.
Yeah,
a lot of oil lamps and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, everything was electrical approved and passed. But we just chose to be so simple about everything that we do. We just wanted to be simple. Another thing too, if it goes down, it's very simple to fix, very small pieces.
Well, all we would lose is lights, because we wouldn't lose heat. We wouldn't lose cooking abilities. We have a wood stove. So it's just lights. That's all we have is electric.
And a fan that kind of pushes stuff around. But anyways, back to toilets. Why we chose to live this way, that is specifically because of the off-grid part. Also because it is good compost once it's composted down for, like I said, a year plus. And just keeping that lifestyle, not being on the grid, not relying on anything. It's all us. Power goes out, or if the water, say, froze or whatever, we still use the bathroom. If you need electric, or if you have a water issue at your house, if you're on grid, you might not be able to flush.
Right.
So what are you going to do? well, we can. It's a bucket, and then we go dump it in our human pile that we have. So that's why we chose it. But this is keeping us in that lifestyle with this new toilet, but makes my life
just an upgrade.
Yeah, it's just an upgraded off-grid toilet.
Yeah, and it's like, we don't mind, but when people come over, it's kind of an awkward topic. The people that we're close to know, but if we have new friends come over and their kids have to use the bathroom, I'm like,
everybody's kid has
toilet.
to use the bathroom.
And they're like, what's that? And I'm like, well, you'll find out.
Yep.
Yeah, so it makes that aspect a little bit better.
But they're also some of our most funny stories now.
They are.
Going by.
You find out who your true friends are.
That's right. We'll keep the names unmentioned since it is talking about using the bathroom, but it's quite funny, and they know who they are. So next time you all come over, you're going to have a toilet to sit on. Actual toilet.
Yeah.
All right, enough chitter chatter. We need to get this thing in.
Do it.
Okay, it's finally installed. So it is very simple. The biggest thing is there's an exhaust that you have to use. So the exhaust has to go outside your house. So I had to like drill a hole through our house. That was the biggest thing. That was kind of nerve-wracking, and you had to make sure it was done correctly. So that was the biggest worry. But other than that, everything's fine. You just plug it in and it's good to go. So let me show you the outside, and then we'll show you the inside. So it's getting dark, and I apologize about that, but this is your outside exhaust. And so when you have the, I don't know any other one but the one we have. So when you have the Excel electric, it kind of pushes the air out through this exhaust. So I still have the cock right in here where the hole is, but it actually worked out well. It's at a 45-degree angle, and then it shoots out. So all I gotta do is brace it and just kind of straighten it up. But other than that, it's perfect. It's out of the rain. And I'm very happy with it. I think it worked out well. So that's the outside exhaust look. All right, now it's time to go check the inside. And here she is in all of her beauty. I'm talking about the toilet, not Jen. So this is her. She is tall. You do get a stand. And so how it works is you have this that pops right off. If I can scoot, this is the finished product. So that is soil, straight soil that is ready to go in. And now that's just test, so that's just mulch. We did just make sure it worked out. And then so here is the exhaust that I was telling you about. It has to be at a 45-degree angle at the most when it comes out of here. I'm gonna let Jen explain more of that.
So I had to read the manual like front to back 15 times because it was a little involved.
And it's just the exhaust.
Yeah, it's not just something you plug in and you're ready to go. It's a little bit in depth. So from my understanding, it cannot be more than a 45-degree angle because of condensation purposes. So if it were to condensate, it would come right back down into the toilet, causing an obstruction, and that wouldn't work out. So the 45 degrees is not so harsh. It's a slight angle, so it allows it to vent up and out of your house. Once you get it out of the house, you can go at 90.
I love that. I love
in the house, it has to be
Is she swimming or are we exhausted?
I don't know, but that's what it said. So I'm glad I read it because he was about to do it at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I was ready to just go out the window.
Yeah. Nope.
But we were able to get that resolved, and it was fine. Took a little finagling.
Yeah.
But it worked out well. We don't have a ginormous hole in our wall. We were able to do it correctly at 45-degree angle.
Well, wait. Oh, see? That's what I'm afraid of.
Stool fell off.
I'm going to step on that stool, and it's going to break.
Who did that? What happened? The cat? The cat.
So this is your bucket of good stuff. We before used a mixture of cedar and corn cob, and that worked really well for our homemade compost toilet. It composted down easily. It was good for the garden, all that good stuff. But with this toilet, since it is the way it is, you have to use theirs. So you have to order it just from them. They send you the little scoop. You put a little packet of microbial stuff. I don't know. It breaks down the compost and all that good stuff. So the rule is, if you pee, let it be. If you poop, use a scoop. And what that scoop is for every member of your household, you do 1 scoop per person per day. So you just do a little bitty scoop. What is your deal? She's not happy about the new setup, apparently. But you do 1 scoop and you just toss it lightly in there, and then you're good to go. Every 2 days you crank it, which we'll have to show you another time because it's not time yet, and I don't want to mess up the very delicate process that comes with the toilet. But yeah, that's your stuff. That's what makes it compost. That's what makes you be able to use human manure and use for whatever your purpose is. If you don't want to use it for your vegetables, use it for your flowers. You can use it for your trees, your bushes, whatever. And then once you work your way up to vegetables, you can do that if you're comfortable with it.
Okay, the nitty gritty part. What's inside? So if you come over, first off, let's show you this. Here's your crank. So it just pops out and you turn it, and it's just this barrel on the inside. So pop on over here. You have this little insert that helps make sure everything goes in the hole, but this is literally just a bucket. So imagine a 5-gallon bucket, which I know it's hard to see because it's black, but just imagine a 50-gallon bucket that has a square hole cut in it that you can turn around and turn. So there's a lot of composters that are out there that you can do for just normal composting, that it is basically a 50-gallon drum with a hole that you put your stuff in, and you turn it every couple days because it sits there, it gets hot, and you got to turn it. Same thing.
Aeration.
Exactly. So that's the same thing that's happening inside our toilet. And it's really amazing, really cool idea that they got here. And because we have electric, it produces heat in that bottom tray that helps compost it down even quicker. They have non-electric toilets like this, which is fine, and it works just well.
And they even have smaller, compact versions.
They do have smaller ones, but because we have the room, we have the power, we got the Excel Electric. So why in the world did we choose to spend $1,700 on a Sunmar composting toilet? Why? All right, so we get asked all the time, I'm looking to buy a homestead. What are some key factors that I should look into? Well, I always say 3 things: house, fencing, outbuildings.
Yeah.
So is there a house? Do you want a house? If there's not, what is your plan for a house? Because that's what we did here. We built this bad boy. It was family land. It's a pole barn. We were from scratch.
Yeah.
There
was no electric, no water, no hookups of any kind, no septic, no plumbing, nothing.
Right.
It was literally from scratch with our own hands.
Exactly. And I don't know if you're experienced in any kind of building of a home, but septic tanks are not cheap.
Yeah.
And they have to perk. Your land has to be able to perk for that. And what that means is basically, can it handle a septic? Because a septic easily seeps out all of your black water and gray water into your ground, and if it can't perk, that means it's going to rise to the top, and you're going to have a puddle of black water, and nobody wants that, right?
And Kentucky is a little bit difficult to perk sometimes. There's a lot of issues here. I don't know if it's because of the rock,
it's
bedrock.
It's definitely because of the rock. We have ginormous limestone, and so what that entails is adding a lot of soil to your land.
Yeah.
Just to cover your poop.
Which is more money. And if you're anything like us, when you start your homestead, you want to spend money on fencing and animals and sustainability.
Things
not
that can make you money.
That's underground that you can't even see.
Right, exactly. So first off, that's your first instinct. Is flushing a toilet worth thousands of dollars? I'm not talking $1,700. I'm talking $20,000.
Right.
Is it worth that? So I mean that right there. Yeah, that right there cuts such a cost out of your house by not choosing a toilet, because you can still have water and you can still have gray water, because that's just lateral lines.
Yeah.
Those aren't near as bad as black water, which is black water is what comes from your toilet.
Yes.
So that's your first reason that we decided we're not flushing a toilet.
Yeah. So another reason for us is less waste. Along the fact that we don't want to spend $10,000 plus on a septic tank that we can't even see. We want to be able to use everything and maximize everything to the most ability that we can. So we're all about sustainability. We're all about using what you have, using what you can. And we have big gardens, big gardens, and we are believers of human manure. Not everybody is, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit of a touchy subject, and I think most of it is just the wow factor. You know, it's kind of like, what? I don't want to eat vegetables that come from...
I can't do that.
But I'm telling you right now, all vegetables come from fertilizer, whether it's human, cow, goat, sheep, rabbit, I don't care what it is, it's poop, and there's
Cold
poop in your soil.
Hot, it doesn't matter.
Right. So for us, that was a big deal. Human manure can be used on trees, fruit bushes. If you want to take it as far to use on your vegetables after it's composted for over a year, then that's a good thing too.
Yep.
Also, it's just less waste. Eventually, this world is going to run out of room for septic tanks and poop water. So that's just the route that we choose to go, and we are proud of it. We're confident in it, and it feels like we're doing our duty. We're producing less of a carbon footprint for our family of 4, and I feel like we should all strive to do that every day, whether it's poop water or plastic.
Right, and in the world that's going on right now where everybody's freaking out about toilet paper, what if your water got shut off?
Yeah.
We don't need water for ours.
Yeah.
We don't need electric for ours.
Right.
That's an added benefit. So, I mean, and that's not I got you.
Yeah.
That's just, it's like our wood burning stove. You know, we want things to where
investments.
Exactly, investments. So if things did just shut off for we don't know how long, we can still use the restroom comfortably.
Yep.
We can still heat our house comfortably. Like it doesn't impact our household. And so those are the things that we strive to do, is to make sure that if something was, we don't have to rely on others to be comfortable.
Yes.
So to address the money part, money wasn't a situation in this choice. So like, it isn't that we couldn't afford a septic tank, or we couldn't afford a lagoon, or we couldn't afford to have soil brought in to perk a septic tank. That wasn't the choice there. Our choice was, we would rather put that money towards our homestead that can turn profitable, rather than us just literally having the luxury of flushing.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is.
Because it's just what you do, you know, what the people do. They flush the toilets, not us.
We chose to spend $1,700 rather than $10,000 to turn instead of flush.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally all it is. And I promise you, I know it's in your head like, I just can't do that. I was there at one point too, but we wanted to live in this house so bad. She's like, this is all we can do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to poop in a bucket.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Before, we did just have composting toilets that were a bucket and a shell, because we couldn't afford, you know, the nicer thing. Even if we wanted a septic, it wouldn't have worked up here. It's just not. It's where we chose to be, and it wasn't an option.
Right.
And it's still not really an option. I mean, we could have made it happen, but it would have been really difficult.
A lagoon / septic might have been a possibility, but even that would have like ruined our pond.
Right.
And
it would have been a big money waster and a big time waster, and time is precious, and we would rather spend that time, like he said, making our homestead profitable instead of digging a hole for poop water.
Poop. And it's crazy how we've just became like,
it's just
we have to flush our poop somewhere, and it needs to go into a big old thing underneath the ground that then easily seeps out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know from our side it seems like crazy, and your side you're like, but this is how we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. Like, you can poop in a toilet and you can pull out soil.
People think we're weird. It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Perfectly okay. But we don't have a septic. We don't have a big old hole in our ground. We didn't do all these different things. And there's no downplay for that. We understand that you either bought a house.
Hey, if it comes with that flushing toilet and that septic,
enjoy your flushing toilet.
By all means, enjoy it. But if you're looking for a quick way to get your homestead and get in your house and be in that cozy homestead cabin home, this is a good choice.
So that brings us to our last point. If you want this life, if you want the homesteading life, it's not just gardening, it's not just farm animals. No. The biggest component of this life is the home. And so that, to me, that is
unless your land comes with a home. That's great.
Yes, but I would still strive, even if it came with a home, moving it more off-grid like we do every day with our home. We're trying to make every step towards off-grid, which we call a semi, because it's just electric that we're on the grid on, and we're working to fix that. But to live this lifestyle and to be sustainable, it's not just about vegetables and meat. It's about house as well, and shelter. So you need to be able to do that as well. So if you truly want this, you have to be able to sacrifice some of what you think is luxuries. Mm-hmm. And you know, right now we feel like we're luxurious.
We do.
And did I say that right?
Coming from what we had to what we have now,
right? Luxury
feels like a luxury, even though to some they're still like, that's weird. Don't want to do that.
Exactly. But we sacrificed when we moved here 5 years ago to poop in a bucket.
Yeah. I told him, I said, I will poop in a bucket. I don't care for how long, as long as I'm on that land, on that homestead.
Because this was so important to us. Mm-hmm. So if you have that drive to want this so badly, no matter what, pooping in a bucket will not bother you. Yeah. And then when you get a Sunmar that you can turn it and you can not have to dump it every 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
You're going to be one happy family. And so that's why we're smiling so big today, because it is a luxury, but it's still on the goal and path that we want it to be. So just for all of you new homesteaders, anybody that's out there dreaming, wanting this life, really think about the shelter too. We always think about the garden space. We always think about the farm animal space. Think about the home as well. Do you want it completely on grid? Do you want all the normal luxuries that you have right now, wherever you are? Or do you want to try to break that mold and learn to live without someone supplying power or someone supplying water or someone supplying a septic tank to you? So
also, all over the United States, nationally, I don't know about worldwide, but I know nationally these toilets are approved. Anyone can have them in their home, and there is no stipulation against you. Yeah, you can. They're 100% approved, even if you have kids in the home, all that good stuff. So yeah, Sunmar. Amazing, genius company that has made our lives 20 times better.
Yeah, and I don't know if we mentioned this now, but this was not a paid promotion. No, we literally just called them.
We bought it. Best dollars.
They have no idea we even do YouTube. So I want to make sure that that's clear, that this is not a promotion. This is truly just what we wanted and we bought with our own money. Isn't that right, Wyatt?
You like the new toilet?
Yes.
It is tall. It has a step. So for kids, like, he can get on it pretty well. Raylan is a little bit harder. She's practice. 4, but she was able to get on and off by herself.
I was coming to talk to these guys, but then they're on the camera.
Well, we're wrapping it up now. All right, y'all. If you're interested, please ask all the questions you want. Yeah. I know it feels like we're kind of gardening farm animal, but we have a lot with home too. Yeah. You know, that's different and a little more sustainable than I think people expect. So please ask your questions. I hope it interests you. I hope you're trying to strive for that as well, because it's a huge component.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We love y'all.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.